So this week's episode, we're talking about people confusing choices versus options. Some people will bypass a whole dope ass, good ass, fly ass person, thinking like, oh, okay, it's all right. I'll just get better. I'll just get better. And it's like, nah, bro. Like you were supposed to work and build with somebody. You don't want to keep too many options open. Don't do it. Don't do it. Right? When you actually talk about serious dating and relationships, your roster, in my opinion, should be no more than really like 3. One more time. A person who is serious about relationship, excuse me, one more time. Dang, why am I messing up today? Lord have mercy, right? What's good, fam? Welcome back to Relationship Wise, or welcome to Relationship Wise if it's your first time here. What it do? I'm your boy Terrell. We about to get into it, man. So this week's episode, we're talking about people confusing choices versus options. All right. Choices versus options. Okay. All right. So let's talk about it. Most people confuse options with choices. When I was dating shit, I know I did. Cause I mean, look, we always think that they're the same exact thing and they're really not. You know what I mean? Did you know that options in dating can lead to confusion and miscommunication? Right. You may think that the more people you date, the easier it is, but that may not be the case for most people. You know what I mean? Most people confuse their options with their choices. And fam, you don't need to be confused, bro. Like options and choices are two entirely different things. We think that because we have a plethora of people to choose from, we can swipe right all day. We think that, hey, look, I could get anybody I want. Like, and it's not necessarily the case. You actually have to be careful and you have to be more selective with your choices, right? People often mix up options, which are the people that are available to you, and with choices, the decisions that we can actually make between the people that we have in our lives, right? In dating and relationships, all right? So let's talk about the 5 ways this confusion plays out in the dating world, right? Y'all stick around to the end so we can talk a little bit about Black history too. You feel me? All right, so let's get into it. All right, so when dating, waiting for a better option instead of choosing a good one, right? A lot of times people wait for better. People will always wait for the better. I want better. I want this. I want that, as opposed to looking at what's good in front of them, right? Some keep dating consistently, thinking that the perfect choice is still out there, leading to endless searching, right? Ladies, I ain't gonna hold y'all. I'm talking to you when I say this, all right? Be careful with wanting better, right? Women and men too, but most people are always trying to look for better. They're looking for better, not realizing that they have so much of a perfectionist way of looking at the dating pool. Now, I get it. There are certain people who are better for you. There are certain people who are better suited for you. Yes, I get that. However, some people will bypass a whole dope ass, good ass, fly ass person, thinking like, oh, okay, it's all right. I'll just get better. I'll just get better. And it's like, nah, bro, like you were supposed to work and build with somebody. You know what I mean? I think one of the biggest problems that most people have is that they feel like they shouldn't have to settle, I guess, right? And you shouldn't settle. However, you got to also be real with your capacity. You guys also got to be real with who you know you can work with, because a lot of times you got to be able to find good and make that good better. It's never going to be a perfect match. There's always going to be something that you're going to have to not necessarily go through, but you're going to have to struggle through in terms of, oh, wait, I like their personality this way, but I see them like this. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I thought I would have a person who was more educated, or I thought I would have a person who was more in tune with their spiritual side, as opposed to understanding like you're going to have to go through and grow through things with your partner when you actually meet them. So don't look for that better all the time, or that perfect person. That perfect person will kind of come through you being in their life, right? So be mindful of that, okay? All right. And most times, y'all, let's keep it real. Most times, good is low key great. You just got to work with it. You know what I'm saying? So take advantage of good when you see it. Please take advantage of good people when you have them in your life. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like, oh, shorty kind of good. She a good girl. Da 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 da. And then you out here playing around on a good girl. Like what? You wasted her time? Nah, bro. Take advantage of that. You feel me? If you're gonna wipe her up, wipe her up. If you're gonna snatch her up. Ladies, same thing. If you see a good dude and he's solid, he somebody that you could work with, actually rock with him. Don't just be like, oh, I know he good, but I can find somebody who better or who make a little bit more money or who a little bit more. Like, nah, just because somebody might look better with all the superficial things don't mean they better for you. Please be careful. Please. All right. Yeah. Next one. Thinking more matches means higher value. Now, I feel like that one is kind of self-explanatory, right? Listen, a lot of y'all be swiping, man. A lot of y'all be swiping, thinking, oh, okay, I can get a whole bunch of women. I can get a whole bunch of men, da-da-da-da. Just because you get a lot of matches don't mean anything, right? Having a lot of matches on dating apps feels validating. You feel me? It's like likes on Instagram. All them eyeballs, all them likes and stuff don't necessarily mean people actually value you. They just give you attention, right? They just giving you a little bit of desire for the moment. They might not really rock with you. You feel me? So keep that in mind. Even though it's validating, it doesn't mean those are quality choices for a relationship. And that's facts, right? Because let's be real. Like, let's say you on Tinder, let's say you on Bumble, let's say you on Match or whatever, and you match with, let's say, genuinely like 30 people. You ain't finna go on a date with all 30 people. Yeah, okay, all 30 people might show some sense of interest. Out of them 30, though, how many people are either going to want to go out on a date with you, a serious date, right? If you're a woman, pay for the date, or if a man actually want to pay for time spent with a woman. You feel me? Let's be real. Most men are kind of hesitant to pay on dates now, and most women are hesitant to even go on dates. You feel me? So that's one. And then you got to get through the date. Then two, you actually got to sit and talk with them and actually be interested in them. Most people, I have a homegirl who told me when she was single, she was like, most men can't even hold a conversation. And I'm just like, yo, I'm telling you, it sucks. So one, you got to get through it. You got to go on the date, right? You have to get to the date first. Then you actually have to sit through the date with the person and see if you actually like them, right? And then three, you actually got to maintain communication and see if you could be around this person long enough to see whether or not you like them. And let's say out of that 30, let's say it's probably a solid like 4 people that you can actually do that with. And just because you might like them doesn't necessarily mean they boyfriend, girlfriend material, or even will get you to marriage. So just because you have a whole bunch of seeming options don't necessarily mean anybody or any one of them is right for you. You feel me? So just keep that in mind, man. You might be swiping. Yeah, I could get so-and-so. Yeah, but they might just want sex. They might just be lonely. They might just be playing around or seeing what kind of fish is in the water because them and their ex is on a break. You feel me? Don't let nobody play you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So don't think just because you have a whole bunch of matches, everything's sweet. No. That's not necessarily the truth. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I've seen a lot of women and men on social media brag about something, right? So, I've seen a lot of dudes say, yeah, man, I was able to get a bad one. But like they probably was able to have sex with a bad one, but they couldn't keep no fine woman. Just because you can have sex with somebody or just because you can have somebody in your presence don't necessarily mean you know how to keep them. You know what I'm saying? Like, just don't mean necessarily that she gonna allow you to be her dude or her husband or her, you know what I'm saying? Like, she'll fuck, but that's really it. Like, she don't really want you, bro. You know what I mean? Same thing with girls. I see a lot of women on socials talk about, oh yeah, a rich man don't care about this. A rich man don't care about that. A rich man to cash you out, he'll take you on a date, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, but you dated a rich man, but you couldn't be in a long-term relationship with a rich man? You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, just because you can get that person for a period of time, just because you get that person for, a month. Okay, yeah, y'all just talked and that was it. That don't necessarily mean it's going to lead to a relationship. That don't necessarily mean that you actually have the real value that you need to have in a dating marketplace. So just be mindful. More swipes, more matches don't necessarily mean more compatibility. So be mindful. Stop playing. All right. So next on the list is keeping too many options open. Ooh, Lord have mercy. One more time. I got to say it one more time. Keeping too many options open. Okay. You don't want to keep too many options open. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right. Thinking more options equals better choices, but too many can lead to indecision and a lack of meaningful connection. I'm going to say that one more time. Thinking more options equals better choices, but too many options can lead to indecision and a lack of meaningful connection. All right. So I have a question, y'all. Hold up. How many of y'all know about decision fatigue? All right. So decision fatigue is when you're given a whole bunch, like a plethora of options to look through and so you can make a decision. In dating, you should know your number, right? Let me say that again. In dating, everybody has a number, family. Okay. Everybody got a number. Some people's number of people that they can date, actually like go on dates with, actually talk to, whatever, could be 5. Some people could be 3. Some people in all truth can only really be 2, right? Max. Some people only do 1. You understand? So you got to know your number, because if you're a 3 person who, I can only have 3 people who I'm talking to, but you have 5, you're not gonna know what the fuck. You ain't gonna know your up from down. You ain't gonna know left from right. You understand what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of times people think that just because they got these options, they think that they'll be able to make a better choice. I got this person coming Monday, that person coming Wednesday. Like, no. You got to know that your focus is only so big when it comes to the dating pool. You got to know. Hey, look, bro. Like, for example, when I was dating, I already knew my number was 2. I couldn't have more than 2 girls I was talking to because I had too much going on. I had school going on. I had bills going on. I was like, no. You got to know your mental capacity. Just because you might have a roster of 10 people doesn't necessarily mean that you actually gonna be able to have real better options. You just playing the field. When you younger, when you in your early 20s, when you a teenager, cool, that's fine. But like when you actually talking about serious dating and relationships, your roster, in my opinion, should be no more than really like 3. Okay. And again, know that number. Know that number for yourself. If you know you could actually talk to or go on dates of about 4 to 5 people, cool. Like, figure out your number. But I would say keep it as 3, max 4. Okay. And that's only dating. I ain't talking about sex. You shouldn't be having sex with all these people you talking to. That's out. You feel me? Because that's going to confuse you. That's going to make you feel like, oh, I have more options. I got more availability to do what the fuck I want. Just chill. Stay within about 3 to 4, right? And I would tell you, if you actually looking for real dating and relationship, you should not be having sex with not one of them. You should actually be trying to spend time, go on dates, see what this person is like, see how you are around them in their presence, and gauge their energy. You feel me? Because that's a real key thing when it comes to like building. You feel me? Keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. So know your number. Know your number. All right. So, because decision fatigue could kill you, man. You believe just because I got Brenda, Letitia, Linda, Felicia, whatever DMX said, you know what I'm saying? Just because you got all these women don't necessarily mean, or all these options don't necessarily mean that you gonna be successful, bro. Like, you're not. You have to know your number. You know what I'm saying? That might have worked for DMX, but he's also a celebrity. Like, he ain't had no allegiance to no women, so he could get women all day and tomorrow. All right. So, but you should know your number. But yeah, man, I would tell you, I ain't gonna hold you. The typical person, maximum 3. All right. Let's keep going, y'all. All right. So the next step is mistaking attention for interests, right? I feel like this is self-explanatory, but a whole bunch of people will sometimes mistake, harmless flirting for real interest. You know what I mean? Luckily, I'm married, so left hand gang, stop playing. So I don't necessarily pay too much attention to it, but like when I've heard a lot of single people say, Oh, I just flirt for fun. I don't really be liking you I don't like people for real. Like people be really thinking like, oh, you enjoying them or they really like me and this, that, and the third. And that ain't even the case, bro. Like they just flirting. They just flirting because it feels fun and they like to build the chemistry and like they like the little tension and finesse they got over a person by flirting with them. You know what I'm saying? So just because multiple people show you attention or flirt, okay, and you have, or it feels like you have options, doesn't mean they're all serious about a relationship, which is the choice you have to make, right? A lot of time, I'm telling you, a lot of time I've seen it, man. I've seen people actually, I've seen women who tell me, oh, I flirt with everybody. I flirt with da 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 da, and dudes be really thinking like, oh, I could bag shorty. You know what I mean? I've seen women's reputation get destroyed because men think that they can actually have sex with them when all the girl really did was flirt with them. Like, and she flirted with, let's say, this one girl flirted with like 10 men who knew each other. Oh yeah, and the dudes start spreading rumors. Oh, she a hoe, which is funny because it's like none of y'all actually have sex with her, but y'all all think she a hoe because she flirt with all of y'all. Granted, it is a little crazy. Let's not flake. Like, you feel me? If one woman is flirting with 10 different dudes who all know each other, stop playing. Stop playing. You know what I mean? They're gonna have this idea of her being this hoe anyway. So, but again, it doesn't necessarily mean because you have different people flirting with you that you got options. Be mindful, bro. You be mindful. Just because somebody flirt with you, don't necessarily, it don't really mean nothing. They could really just be playing. Now, sometimes, half the time, people are actually trying to get at you, but just be mindful. You know what I'm saying? Know what you want before you out here trying to make a choice. You feel me? Just because you feel like, oh yeah, I got all these attractive people trying to flirt with me, doesn't necessarily mean all these attractive people are quality. You feel me? One more time. Let me say that again. Just because you got all these attractive people trying to flirt with you, do not mean all these attractive people are quality. Okay? That's a bar. I ain't gonna hold you. All right. Yeah? Stop playing. Okay. Let's go on to the next one, family. All right. The last step. Actually, this is the last one, y'all. A lot of people confuse talking with investing. Just because you're talking to many people doesn't mean you're actually choosing to invest in any of them, right? A lot of times too, people be like, oh yeah, I got a whole bunch of options, but then you really realize like you was just playing the field. Like you ain't really want to take anybody serious. Or on the flip side, you wanted to take a lot of these people serious and they were playing around. You feel me? Just because you going on dates, just because you're out in the field or you're trying to choose from a whole bunch of the fish in the sea, it don't necessarily mean that they actually want to be chosen by you, right? Keep that in mind. Always, 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 when you out in this dating field, know what you want. I'm pro relationship. So let's not play this game. You got to know and set your intentions from the jump. Like tell people what it is that you want. Like, yo, I want to be in a relationship. I want this. I want marriage. I want whatever. Let people know like, oh, okay, I'm either here to play. And if you want to play, you over there with it. Or you actually here to stay and like, let's build something. You feel me? Be very, very clear. I said it on last episode or the episode before that. Just be clear with your intentions, okay? Let people know that you actually want a relationship. The more you actually press the concept of a relationship to a person, the faster they're going to run away from you, because a person who's playing or a person who's not serious about relationships will not want to be in a relationship around. A person who is serious about getting in a relationship will not try to waste your time. You feel me? And they're not going to be bothered with you asking a whole bunch of questions. I feel like I could say that clear. Hold on. All right. A person who is serious about relationships, trust and believe, they ain't gonna mind a whole bunch of questions about relationship topics. Like they ain't gonna mind you talking about things that are serious. Where you see yourself in 5 years. What do you really want out of life? What's your purpose? You feel me? They not the, what's your favorite color question? Like people who are serious are not going to be afraid of serious questions when it comes to relationship. So please don't waste your time. If you out here and you know what you want, please, 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 please Pay attention to the signs. See what people talking about. You know what I mean? Don't waste your time. A lot of people ain't worth it. And even bigger than that, it's not worth your time. So be serious with yourself. So you actually find the right person. You feel me? Okay. So listen, if you made it this far in the episode, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe to our page. Go ahead and follow us. You know what I'm saying? We put up content weekly. You know what I mean? And I got Patreon. Stop playing. Stop playing. By next week, Patreon should be up. You feel me? Listen, I want to go live with, a couple of people. I want to create community. I want to, invest in people. And hopefully I give y'all enough valuable information in this episode. And if you go back and look at the catalog on YouTube or wherever you're listening to this podcast as an audio listener, you feel me? You listen, this is episode 45? Stop playing. You feel me? So I want to build with y'all, man. So let's get into it. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. Become part of the family. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now let's get a little bit into Black history. This is one of my favorite subjects, y'all. Stop playing. You know what I mean? I'm a history major. Hell, I did enough African history courses to literally be a minor in African diaspora studies. I got to say it right. African and African diaspora studies. I did more than enough coursework. I just didn't do it right before my bachelor's was up, right? So in honor of Black History Month, right, let's talk about the father of Black history. I think it's only fair, it's only fitting, the good brother Carter Goodwin Woodson, all right? Hopefully I'm saying that middle name right, but Carter G. Woodson, if you haven't heard of him, right? Right, so he's the first person to start Black History Week back in February of 1926. I think he wanted it to coincide between Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln's birthday, right? Which, Abraham Lincoln, you know what I mean? Like, cool. I get it, but whatever. More for Frederick Douglass, you know what I'm saying? We Black around here, so we represent Black people first, you know what I mean? Well, not only, but first, yeah. Especially when it comes to Black History Month, you know what I mean? Stop playing. So. He created it, like I said, in the second week of February to commemorate Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass's birthday, right? And he was known for books called The Miseducation of the Negro, which is where, the good sister Lauryn Hill got her title from, of her album, right? And African Myths and Folktales, and a lot more, right? I'll probably put a link to some of his books or a picture to some of his books out here now. But it's important that we know who he is because he was real instrumental in creating a lot of Black history and reviving it for African-American culture, because a lot of times white people believe that Black people didn't have culture. So one of the things he wanted to do was organize and galvanize Black people and Black history into a theme that Black people could be proud of, especially in the Americas, especially in America, right? Because clearly the overwhelming amount of racism and, Black people don't have any culture and history and da-da-da-da-da. And like he started to try to disprove that myth, disprove that narrative. So his work was real instrumental, and he's the reason why we have Black History Month in America, right? And funny enough, I think England celebrates their Black History Month in October. I want to look more into that, but at least for us here in America, Black Americans, listen, bro, we gotta be mindful. We gotta know our history. We gotta know why it's important to understand and represent our culture out both in America and from Africa and parts beyond. You know what I mean? I feel like we've been told that our history began in slavery, which is retarded. That don't make no damn sense. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody really started off as a slave, right? America made us into slaves. America made us into this thing. America made us what's called a Negro or a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Before America created a nigga, niggas did not exist, right? So stop playing. Just because we got this title and this word, that's a concept that literally white people created of Black people being a certain way, thinking a certain way, operating from the lowest version of ourselves, the lowest version of our humanity. You know what I mean? And so that's why that word is so damn offensive, because we ain't niggas. We ain't Negroes, man. We Black people. We Africans were African Americans or American Africans or however you wanted to. We Black. You know what I'm saying? We are the oldest. We are the first human beings in existence. So stop playing, man. You know what I mean? So yeah. Y'all do me a favor. Go ahead and comment if you feel the need to comment. I have a question, y'all. What y'all want me to talk about next episode? What Black history fact do y'all want to know next episode? Let's get into that because I feel like we should make a segment weekly about Black history, especially what's going on in politics. I ain't finna get into it too much. I'd rather this be a place, a safe space for us to actually connect on Black history and build together. You feel me? So y'all drop in the comment what y'all want me to talk about next week. What y'all want me to talk about? Shoot, I can make it a couple times a week on Instagram or TikTok, you feel me? And we can really build around that because I feel like it's extremely important to talk about Black history because a lot of our people really don't even know it. You know what I mean? But that's all for now, man. If you haven't subscribed or followed, please do so. I'm your boy Terrell. This has been Relationship Wise. Peace. What's good, fam? Welcome back to Relationship Wise, or welcome to Relationship Wise. If you're so people often instead of choose no. One more time. A person who is serious about relationship. Excuse me. One more time. Dang, why am I messing up today? Lord have mercy. Right?